Welcome to the Market Mic, where today we have Angel from Roots and Rain.
Hi,
How are
Carolyn.
you?
I'm
Good.
doing great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thanks
I really
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Of course. Thanks so much for coming in.
It's a pleasure.
So I am so excited to have you here today because you have such an amazing line of products, and
you.
especially your handmade soaps. Can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what you brought for us today and how you got started in this?
All right. Well, we'll start off. Let me tell you how I got started with this first of all.
Okay.
So I've been crafting soaps and health and beauty products for about 8 or so years. I started it as a home business when I was pregnant with my second. I now have 5. And it was just a way for me to be a stay-at-home mom and spend time with my kids while still running a business and earning a supplemental income for the family. And so part of it was I wanted to start my own business, and the other part was I wanted to be able to make products that I could use. So I have really sensitive skin, and I react to a lot of the different chemicals and junk that they put in typical health and beauty products.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I'm not the only one with sensitive skin, but I had trouble finding products that I could use, and they put so much stuff in them. So I started crafting my own products, and I did a lot of research in the beginning of looking up different oils and butters and just different natural products that you could use for skincare and what was the best of the best. I developed different recipes and I started making them and testing them on myself and found a good line of things that I keep on hand for myself, and I found that other people enjoy them too. So it was kind of a twofold how I got started. One, starting a business, and the other was just finding something that I could use it without reacting to.
So was it liquid soap or bar soap that you got started in?
Well, I kind of started with bar soap, and then I went into liquid soap and found that personally I like it better. We use it more in our house than we would bar soap. And you know, there's a lot of people that make some really good, high quality handmade bar soap, but I know there's not a whole lot of people making liquid soap, and I know that generally people tend to use more liquid soap than bar soap. So I started making some, and I've been extremely pleased with the results. So I have just a few examples here, but my soaps are made from scratch. I do not buy in bulk and repackage. I make them with just 4 simple starting ingredients: olive oil, coconut oil, palm oil, and castor oil. That's it. Start with that, and then I add the potassium hydroxide, and that is the saponifying agent. Now that will convert those oils into soap, but it's used up in the process of the saponification process. So there's no potassium hydroxide left in the finished product, and I do test every single batch. I use a pH indicator, phenolphthalein, and what that does is once I get into a liquid form, I can take a little sample and just put a few drops of the phenolphthalein in the batch, or in the sample cup, and if it turns pink, I know it's still a little lye heavy, which means I can either give it more time to finish saponifying, or if over a few days' time it doesn't saponify, then I add just a little bit of citric acid to neutralize it, and once it's neutral, then I take 1 bottle, take it in the bathroom, wash my face with it, and if my face doesn't scream at me, or as long as I don't have any reaction or feel any tingling or anything unpleasant, if it tests neutral and it passed my guinea pig test, then I know it's good.
Yeah.
And then, okay, we're good to bottle. And even because there have been some years when I am unable to do craft shows or do much vending, in those years, I still make these products for us, for our family, for extended family, a handful of friends, that make sure I keep things in stock just for them. So I've been making these things nonstop for years. Some years I vend, some years I'm busy with my family. I have 5 little ones, so that keeps me very busy. But
I don't even know how you find time to make all this stuff. I think it's wonderful.
Well, the first few years, to be honest, most of the work that I did was between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Oh.
So I took a good chunk of hours of my life working on that, and really, pushing the R&D and labeling and research and all this stuff. But now I've kind of streamlined the process a little more, so I don't have to spend those long night hours working on this. I just manage to fit it in whenever I can in between all the extracurriculars and family stuff and
Well,
school
that's
things.
kind of like learning the craft. You already learned it all. You did all your
Exactly.
research, so now you can fine tune it. And you
Exactly.
had mentioned like the lye. So I didn't know, like making liquid soap is kind of like the same process as bar soap, where you have to let it, there's a resting period after you
Yes.
combine it.
Yeah, so they're very similar, at least in the beginning stages, but there is a big difference. First of all, with bar soap, you use sodium hydroxide. With liquid soap, it's potassium hydroxide. Now, the process starts the same. You take the oils, you melt them down, then you add your lye, and you use an immersion blender, stick blender, and you got to get comfortable with that thing for a little while. So bar soap, it gets to what's called trace, and then you can go ahead and pour it into the molds, and then just let it cool, let it chill, it'll set up. And then once it's set up, you can, if it's in a big mold, you can take it out, slice it, and then you gotta let it cure for 6 weeks before you can use it. Now with liquid soap, when you're in the blending process, you continue past trace. It'll get to a point long after that trace that the soap makers look for, and the whole thing seizes up. And there's not much you can do with it except jab it with a spatula. And at that point, you let it rest for usually a few days. I find usually 3 days is enough time to complete the saponification process. If I test it and it's still a little pink in the test cup, then I'll let it go a few more days and see if that helps. Then I can take that, it's like a really thick Vaseline consistency. You kind of scrape that out, and I dilute it with distilled water, and that's when I continue to test it for neutrality and neutralize if necessary. But from that point, once it's neutral, you can use it that same day. So I don't have to wait 6 weeks for it to cure.
Okay.
So the initial process of liquid soap is longer than bar soap, but there's almost no cure time. So
Right.
the turnaround is a little faster.
So what is the difference between when you go and you buy a soap at a commercial soaps as versus the handmade soap? Like, what are the ingredients that you really don't want in a soap?
Okay, so a lot of the common soaps that you buy over the counter are going to have artificial surfactants, which isn't really soap. What it does, surfactant breaks the surface tension of water, which soap also does that, and that is very useful for washing your hands, for cleaning up, but some of the chemical surfactants can have negative health effects. They can, some of them act as endocrine disruptors. There's a whole slew of them, and they're all produced in laboratories. But there's also things like, I know there's been a concern with sodium lauryl phosphate, which I also don't use, or I'm sorry, sodium lauryl sulfate. I don't use any of that. I don't use any parabens, which of course are notorious for their carcinogenic properties.
Right.
So in my soap, if you pick it up and look at the label, we have distilled water, coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, palm oil, and then the fragrance oils. So the fragrance oils that I use, they are blended by professional chemists. I buy it from a company, it's the best one I've been able to find as far as purity. Now I do get questions about why don't you use essential oils only. So now some of the fragrance oils do have essential oils in them, but if I use only essential oils, it would drive the cost up a lot. Essential oils for good quality are very expensive. And yes, I can do that, and I will do special orders occasionally as time allows. But the fragrance oils I use are phthalate free, they're California Proposition 65 warning free, they're about as clean as you can get. And for me, again, being very sensitive, I have horrible allergies, I have horrible asthma, and again, my skin reacts to a lot of things. These have been very good for me. Occasionally I'll find a fragrance that doesn't sit well with me, but for the most part, they're really good. They're very high quality, very clean, and I use them both in my soaps and my soy candles, which these have kind of evolved over time. Sometimes I've got little sizes.
The presentation is gorgeous.
Well, thank you. And this one's lavender. So.
Oh, that smells good.
Yes, and the soy I really like. Not only does it burn very clean and have a great hot throw and cold throw for the fragrance, but especially being a mom with a bunch of kids.
Yeah, right?
If it should spill for any reason, you can clean it up with soap and water.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, have you ever spilled?
I bet you guys didn't know that.
Yeah, have you ever spilled paraffin on your wooden floors or in your carpet? Yeah, that never comes out.
Yeah.
But soy does, and all you need is soap and water.
I didn't even know that about soy.
Oh yeah, that's why soy is a lot better.
Is that why it's so popular?
Oh yeah, that and a lot of people like it because it's a renewable resource.
Okay.
And it's cleaner burning.
Yeah.
A lot of the petroleum-based anything, candles or they all have petrochemicals that can not be so good to breathe in when you burn them.
Right.
So soy is definitely preferable for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
So
The majority of candles, if you go to any markets, you see that they're the soy-based candle. So in the market, you have so many scents, and they're all wonderful.
Thank you.
Scents are like proven to boost like mood or relieve
yeah.
stress or anything like that. Can you tell us a little bit about how you come up with your scents and what you're going to move forward with?
Okay. Well, I have like my core scents, the like classic fragrances that everybody seems to like any time of year. I've got an ocean breeze that's very popular. Lavender is a good standby. Citrus splash is nice. I also have a limoncello cream, which is very popular.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that. Also, the black raspberry vanilla is popular, and that one is especially good with the kids. All the kids love that. So I also have some fragrances for the guys that, I mean, ladies like it too, but not all guys like the floral or the fruity fragrances I have in the summer.
And you have the holiday scents too.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
noticed like at Christmas time, there was the pine and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, I do pumpkin spice around Halloween or just in the fall in general. And then I have the winter fragrances. We've got eggnog, we've got cranberry orange, vanilla chestnut. We've got a home for Christmas scent, which is what you want your house to smell like at Christmas time. Gingerbread cookies, that sort of thing.
And they all smell amazing. Like after you wash your hands feel so soft, and the fragrance just lasts forever. Like it just kind of just keeps on giving you that uplifting mood.
Very good. And I try to fragrance it, well, obviously with the manufacturer recommends you use for the fragrance oils, but my goal is to keep it to where you get that fresh scent when you wash your hands and just a little bit of lingering fragrance on your hands for a little while afterwards, but not so overpowering. Like, have you ever walked into, I won't use any company names, but a store that sells a lot of very fragranced lotions and candles, etc., and you get a headache as soon as you walk in, or at least I do. So mine do not do that. It gives you just enough of a fragrance to be pleasant and enjoyable, but it's not something like you can't get rid of it.
Right, right. So you have also these little roll-on. Can you tell us a little bit about that line?
So the aromatherapy oils are pure therapeutic grade essential oils that have been diluted to a concentration safe to use directly on your skin. Now, this one in particular, the headache relief, is one that I have people coming back to me year after year after year. Even in those years when I was not able to vend.
It's a keeper.
People will call me up and ask for usually multiple of them, not just one. They want 5 or 6. And they're very convenient because with the size of them, you can keep them in your pocket, your purse, your glove box, your medicine cabinet, your first aid kit, wherever you happen to be or go. I usually have them stashed everywhere because we use them all the time.
Yeah.
So the headache relief is designed to, like the name says, relieve a headache. Now, to relieve a headache, what you want to do is put it right here, right at the temples and right behind the ears. And let me show you, it comes in these nice little roller bottles. So that just rolls very nicely, just right behind the ears. And if it's an occipital lobe headache at the back of the head, you just roll it right at the nape of your neck. And usually within 10 minutes, give or take, you will feel some relief. Now, it doesn't go after the source of the headache. Now, a lot of headaches are simply caused by dehydration, in which case start by drinking a glass of water and see how you feel. But this will, some people say it's good for migraine. That, again, it depends on the source, like what's causing those, but it does offer some relief. And not only is it good for headaches, but it's also good for respiration if you're a little stuffy, especially this time of year.
Yes.
You can actually take this and roll it right under your nose and then breathe deep. Also over the sinuses if you got some congestion, and then just breathe deep. And you'll feel it kind of tingling, and it'll kind of break that up, and so then it can come out. Also, if you have more chest congestion, what I like to do is roll it on my hands, then roll my hands together, and then it kind of opens things up and clears things out. So
see, you're clever. You have all these administration little tips and tricks.
And I will, at some point as time allows, be coming out with a little pamphlet of like how to use these, because there's only so much room on those little labels.
Right.
But those are some good ways to utilize these.
I love that.
And then also I have a pure lavender. Now this one is really good just to help you relax. For people who may have a bunch of little kids and be stressed out, this is a good one to have on hand, or it just keep one at work, or it's just good for relaxing and decompressing if you're a little stressed. And you can use this the same way, just like on the pulse points or under your nose and breathe it in.
Can you mix them?
You can if you want. Now the headache relief does have lavender in it, but it also has peppermint and eucalyptus, which is why it's effective both for headaches and for breathing.
Yeah.
So there is some overlap because these essential oils, again, these are pure therapeutic grade. So these are not, cut with cheap oils. Actually, the carrier oil that I use for all of my aromatherapy oils is meadow foam seed oil. Now, I chose meadow foam seed oil after a very long, exhaustive study on the different carrier oils to determine which is the best to use. Now, a lot of people use almond or coconut or other oils. Some people are allergic to coconut, and almond oil has a tendency to go rancid. So I narrowed it down after much research to meadow foam seed for two reasons. Number one, it acts as a preservative to extend the shelf life of the product. So these aromatherapy oils will be just as potent 1 year from the time that I make them as they are the day I make them.
And who wouldn't want that?
Right. So, I mean, good, because I forget it's in a
Right.
coat pocket or something, and I find it next year, and they're still just as good.
Right.
And then the second reason I chose meadow foam seed oil is because I have yet to hear of anyone who's allergic to it. So I want to go with something that anyone can use.
Yes.
And I've also found that the meadow foam seed oil doesn't seem to stain clothing, which other oils will.
Right.
So another way you can use these is just put some little on your shirt collar and just have that smell if you don't want to put it directly on your skin. But let me talk about this one here. So this is frankincense and tea tree. Now this one is an antiseptic and analgesic. So both the tea tree and the frankincense will kill any bacteria. It'll kind of like sanitize, and it also is able to relieve pain. So frankincense is an excellent anti-inflammatory and pain reliever, and the tea tree is very good for any kind of antiseptic, but both have antifungal properties as well.
Okay.
So this one would be a good one for like parents with kids who wrestle, or the wrestling coach would be a good one to have on hand. I know like with ringworm on the mats and things like that. Or
So that would just be something, so let's say my wrist hurt. I could put that on my wrist for pain.
This one would be more of where it's needed. So yeah, wrist pain.
Which actually is a win, because you're not taking aspirin and having the aspirin go through your whole system. You're actually treating the spot that has the pain.
Exactly, and this would be effective for pain. It would be effective for if, say you got a cut or something and you wanted to just sanitize it.
Yeah.
After it stops bleeding, of course, just rub that over there and it'll knock
That
out
would be
any
great,
infection.
and like, to keep in your car for your kids, you know, if
Exactly.
they fall at
Go
the
to the
park
park.
or whatever, because, that could be a dirty place, and you
yes.
just kind of sanitize it.
And it's a lot safer and better for you than a lot of the chemicals and the petrochemicals, parabens and that you would get in most products that you find at the store.
That's a great product.
And then there's this one that I really like, and we used this so much last year. This is a newer one that I've rolled out just this past summer. It's my antihistamine blend. And this one is designed to stop itching. So I found it incredibly effective for bug bites, especially. Because we're an outdoorsy family, we're out in the woods a lot, we go camping, we're always outside having campfires and that, so we get a lot of mosquito bites. no matter how hard I try, it happens every year. So I keep one of these around, and when we're at the park or the beach or wherever we happen to be, and someone gets a bug bite, you just roll some of this on there, and within a few minutes it's gone, and really relieves that itch.
That is
so
actually
it's
really
extremely
good.
helpful.
We need to keep the whole line in the
Yes.
glove box.
They're really good to have around.
So that you have something that treats mosquito bites, you should, what about something that like repels mosquitoes?
I've had
Like,
a bug spray before. Now, my product line has gone through a number of evolutions.
Of course, and it's as it should.
And I used to do things like cuticle cream and bug spray, and I had a cleaning spray. I had a tooth powder that was like, it was charcoal and clay and diatomaceous earth was in it. It was really good, but it made a messier sink. It worked really, really well. But not everybody wants a messy sink, and I had to discontinue that one because my kids kept finding it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it wasn't very popular sales-wise, and for the amount of mess it contributed, I just decided we're gonna put that one on the back burner for now. But I can bring that. I still have the recipe. I can bring it back out anytime. I just can only do so much in a day. So
well, I mean, and you know, that's trial and error, being a small business and kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't work and what your customers like and what they don't like. And you know, we always want to please our customer.
Exactly.
Right?
And so I dropped some of the things that weren't as popular. Some of them I still use at home, but other things I just kind of replaced or changed up over time. But I've kind of narrowed it down to these core products, and I may add things eventually as time allows, but so this is magnesium chloride spray. Now, a lot of people are buying magnesium products. It comes in lotions, it comes in sprays. A lot of people take magnesium supplements orally because it's just not in our food as much as it used to be. And a lot of people, the majority of people are magnesium deficient. However, taking a magnesium supplement will only help the problem a little bit because our gut does not absorb magnesium very well.
And it upsets your stomach, doesn't it? I've heard a lot of people, it upsets their stomach.
Yeah, for some people it does, but most of what you take orally ends up getting flushed down the toilet, unfortunately. So whatever you're paying for your magnesium supplement, you may want to consider trying topical magnesium. Now, the magnesium spray that I make is magnesium chloride, which again, after hours of research, I determined magnesium chloride to be the most bioavailable form of magnesium. Of course, there's a magnesium sulfate, Epsom salt, which is good, but this is going to be more easily and readily absorbed by the body. And then you get like magnesium stearate, which is what you typically take internally. But this is literally just distilled water and pure magnesium chloride flakes. And it's really easy. You just spray it on and your body takes in what it needs and leaves the rest. So you don't have to worry about it building up in your system, which is another benefit of using magnesium topically as opposed to internally. Magnesium is one of the elements that tends to be found in kidney stones, so it's better to let your skin take in what it needs than to take it internally.
Right. And the same thing with iodine. I know, like, if you're low on iodine, you can put it on your arm, and if it absorbs quickly, you keep on doing it until your body stops absorbing it. People don't realize, like, our skins absorb everything.
Which is why it's important when you're putting things on your skin, whether it's just washing with soap or using lotions and things like that, your body is absorbing all of that.
Yes.
So you want to be very mindful of what you're exposing your skin to. I mean, I don't have to explain cancer rates to make my point, but let's talk about what this does.
I have people, like, they'll spray this on their feet before, like, they get in bed and they just spray it on their feet, and then they said that they sleep way better.
Oh, yes. So I usually tell people it's mostly for promoting restful sleep and for easing pain. Okay. So our nervous system requires magnesium to properly function, right down to the cellular level. So I suffer with chronic pain. I have fibromyalgia and some other issues that cause me to be in a lot of pain all the time, and also have trouble sleeping often. So usually before bed or whenever I'm having like knee and hip pain or back pain, I just spray down, and usually within 10 to 15 minutes, you feel relief. It works for just about anyone of any age. I use it on my kids to help them sleep at night. It does promote restful sleep, and it does ease pain. So I've had people coming to me for years requesting more of it because it's effective, and you just have to try it for yourself and see.
Is that why you developed this? Was because of your fibromyalgia?
That is the only reason, yes. That is exactly why, because I was looking for something for myself, because when I was diagnosed, the only option was opioids. And I thought, thanks anyway. I'm going to deal with this myself. So I made some dietary changes and just looked for natural ways to relieve pain, which is kind of how I learned about frankincense and also very much the magnesium. The only thing I will say about the magnesium spray that you should be aware of, it is a type of salt. Magnesium's a salt, and so if you have an open wound or any kind of broken skin, you'll feel it.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be pleasant. You can just wash that area off if you happen to get some on there. Also, avoid mucous membranes like the eyes and mouth. It has a very bitter flavor if you happen to get some in your mouth. Also, some people, not everyone, but some people, sensitive folks like myself, will feel an unpleasant pins and needles tingling sensation when you spray it on for the first few uses.
Okay.
That goes away within a few minutes. It's your body recognizing it, reacting, and taking it in.
Yeah.
Now, my husband, he's impervious to everything. He never got that. He uses it all the time, and he never experienced that tingling. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. But every now and then, if I go too long without using it, I will feel that sensation still. And now my kids are immune to it. It goes away after a few uses. You stop feeling that. But it's just something to be aware of. It's nothing bad. Don't wash it off. It's just fine. It's doing its job. One other thing I want to talk about. Yeah, let's bring that up.
Okay.
All right. So this is my whipped body butter.
Lovely whipped body butter.
Yes,
Who
and
doesn't love that?
It's excellent. It's moisturizing, it's hydrating, it's restorative. And I only stock it in the cooler weather because of the nature of the product. It does get a little soft and will melt in the summer. So I discontinue it in the summer. Most of us don't have dry skin in the summer. But this time of year, whenever you're running your furnace, we all tend to get a little dry skin from time to time. So this is made primarily with shea butter, argan oil, and coconut oil.
It's wonderful.
Yes, and there's also cocoa butter in here, like pure cacao butter. And there's also vitamin E, and it's in this nice whipped consistency, kind of like whipped cream. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. This is our tester.
Is it really?
Yes, and it might be a little cold because it was out in the car for a little while, and it's really chilly outside. So the best way to use this is to take a little bit. Now, a little goes a long way.
Oh, so you took a lot of bit.
Well, I'll make it. I'll spread it out. It's okay.
Okay.
So you just put it in the palm of your hand, and you hold your hand. My hands are kind of cold, so it might take a minute. You want to let it melt in between your palms, and once it's melted, it'll spread a lot easier. It'll be kind of thick if you don't let it melt. And yeah, my hands are really cold right now, so it's not working. But I call it a body butter, but I typically use it on my hands and face daily. And but it's good for anywhere you happen to have skin.
Yeah.
So
and you can tell just by looking at it, like it's all natural products. I mean, it just looks fabulous.
would you care to read the ingredient list?
Why don't you?
All right. And it's on this side. We have shea butter, coconut oil, cocoa butter, argan oil, jojoba oil, vitamin E, and cardamom essential oil. Did you notice there's no parabens? There's no other weird things you can't pronounce. It's all pretty straightforward.
And those are all fillers, essentially.
Yes, and I don't use any fillers. I don't use any junk. I just want to go as pure and natural as possible because that's what I want for myself and my family, and that's what I want my customers to enjoy too.
Right.
So that's our whipped body butter. And a little goes a long way. One of those
It does.
tubs,
You saw I took that little bit and it covered my whole hands. I think I actually have extra.
And yeah, if you feel like a little greasy afterwards, it's because you use too much. Just use a little less next time, or just rub it a little thinner, you know, if your arms or something. But they are oils that absorb very readily into the skin, so it shouldn't leave you feeling greasy. So within a few minutes, it should be absorbed, and you should be
my hands feel soft
nice
now.
and smooth and supple.
Yes.
So.
Well, Angel, thank you so much for coming in and showing us your awesome products.
Again, Carolyn, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this time. I very much appreciate you taking time to highlight Roots and Rain LLC.
Well, we thank you so much for coming in and showing us all this. Really is a wonderful line. And once you use these soaps, you will never get anything else. It's just wonderful stuff. Well, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time on the Market Mic.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.